My name is Michael with the channel Worthy of Zion, and we are reading the Book of Mormon. We're in 1 Nephi chapter 2, verse 4. At this point, Lehi has been commanded to flee into the wilderness with his family because he prophesied unto the people in Jerusalem that they would be destroyed and that a Messiah would come. Verse 4 says, "And it came to pass that he departed into the wilderness, and he left his house and the land of his inheritance, and his gold and his silver and his precious things. And he took nothing with him, save it were his family and provisions and tents, and departed into the wilderness. And he came down by the borders near the shore of the Red Sea, and he traveled in the wilderness in the borders which are near the Red Sea, and he did travel in the wilderness with his family, which consisted of my mother, Sariah, my elder brothers, who were Laman and Lemuel, and Sam. And it came to pass that when he had traveled 3 days into the wilderness, he pitched his tent in a valley by the side of a river of water." Okay, that's verse 4 through 6. So we know that Lehi, so there's some things that could be read into this or not. Lehi left everything and fled into the wilderness. He left his silver and gold. He took food and provisions and tents and his family, more or less. He took what he needed and left. He left everything else behind. Now, I've thought about this periodically. If I knew I had to leave immediately, what would I take? And I bring that up because, we're in the last days. We believe that all sorts of things could happen, and some of those things could be some type of destruction, natural disasters, among other things. What would I take? My laptop, my tablet, my phone, my DVDs, my movie library, my music library, my favorite pair of jeans. Really, what would I take? Ultimately, the thing that's most important to take are the things that we need to survive: shelter, food, family. Shelter, food, family. Then probably our scriptures. So, however we've got those. Lehi took what was necessary and left everything else behind. And we'll learn later on that there may have been some wisdom in that. But ultimately, he did as he was commanded, which, again, if you're faithful unto God, it takes a lot of faith to just pick up and go. What happens if all of a sudden one day we're just asked to pick up and go? I read these books once by a guy named Roger Young. He did these books, A Thief in the Night, things like that, Behold the Fig Tree. And in them, there are all these stories about the last days and an invasion of the United States. And one night, everybody's asked to just pack up and go, which I find interesting related to this. The faithful pack up and go. There are many that don't, for a myriad of reasons. A family member being left behind, thinking they could catch up later, having unfinished business that needs to be done, all sorts of things. But being less faithful, they don't just pack up and go. And by the time that they try to, it is too late. So says all the Roger Young books and stories. So I don't think Roger Young's with us anymore, but his books are, and it's been quite a while since I've read them, so it is a little vague, the memory of them. But I found them incredibly interesting, but it's more the principle of who will follow the prophet. In this case, the prophet is called, the prophet is told to go, and he goes. And those who believe him go. And we saw a lot of this in early LDS history as well. When the prophet said, let's go, the people followed. Some of them, most of them. It's kind of all over the place. So, but where will we be when we're asked to leave everything behind and go? And what would you take? Follow the Spirit, but the first thing should be shelter, food, family. Take some scriptures with you too.